Welcome to Wanted Down Under, the show that catapults a British family right across to the other side of the world to help them make the biggest decision of their life, whether to stay in the UK or to move to Australia. Helen and Gary Ward from Bradford are considering swapping the daily grind of the UK for a new life in Australia.
I went there 10 years ago. Went to Sydney and Brisbane and just enjoyed the lifestyle. I mean, obviously the weather was amazing.
I want to give my children the opportunity of a brighter future in a climate where it's healthier, it's more outdoors, less of a rat race perhaps. I think it would be really good for them, for their future.
But will they be able to persuade their 15-year-old daughter Rebecca that it's the right move?
I think if I stayed any longer that would get really hard. I've seen what Australia's done to my family in the space of a few days, but it doesn't mean it wouldn't hurt a lot.
We've always known it's going to be difficult. I mean, I wouldn't want to be dragging her here, kicking and screaming and really unhappy.
She's clearly not sure. There may be some tough decisions to make in the future.
Around 150 people a day migrate to Australia in search of a better life, and anyone who's under the age of 45 and on the skills shortage list could be heading down under at the head of the queue. But for all these families, how hard is the decision, and do they find what they're looking for? We've given another British family the opportunity to spend a week down under to see if it's all they've dreamt it would be. After that, they'll have to make a decision one way or the other, whether to stay in the UK or to move to Australia. Gary and Helen Ward live in Bradford with their 3 children, Becky, Dan and the youngest Rachel, and not forgetting Jake the dog, who won't be making the move. Visa applicant Gary is a full-time youth worker.
I work with young people, 16 to 19-year-old, who have got a level of crisis in their life. We try and raise the skills and their ability to get education, employment or training. My job's amazing actually because you get a chance to help people who haven't had a good start in life. When we get alongside people and people respond, then you just feel as if you've not just done a job, but you've actually helped the big picture.
You've done well there.
Helen is a self-employed dressmaker who doubles up as a teacher to homeschool their 3 children.
We wanted to give our children the chance to soar with their strengths, to excel in the things they're good at, instead of concentrating on some of the things that they struggle with, which is what was happening in school, which just dented the confidence to no end. It makes you think this, doesn't it? They weren't enjoying their education, they weren't having a chance to sort of explore what they did enjoy and what they were good at.
I do prefer homeschool to actual proper school. You do most of the learning yourself. I think it goes pretty well, for me at least, and it's a lot of fun.
For Gary, the idea of a move down under has been on his mind for some time.
I went there 10 years ago. Went to Sydney and Brisbane and around there, and just enjoyed the lifestyle. Obviously the weather was amazing.
I want to give my children the opportunity of a brighter future, living in a climate where it's healthier, it's more outdoors, less of a rat race perhaps. So yeah, I think it would be really good for them, for their future.
But eldest daughter Becky could have a lot to lose if they make the move, her beloved horses.
My horse is called Shadow. She's dark bay, she's a standard bred and she's 11 years old. She's recently had a foal called Cara, who is lovely. She's very friendly and she loves running around and stuff, so they're both lovely to be with. Kind of torn half and half because obviously I have a good life here. I've got my 2 horses, I've got my friends, I've got my family. But yeah, moving to Australia will help my family at the same time and it'll probably help me as well. Leaving my horses will hurt a lot. I'll miss them so much because they're a huge part of my life.
But underpinning the family's motives for the move is Mum Helen's long-term well-being.
The reason why we've decided now is because my wife's got SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. Her mood can go quite low at times. And, it'd be great for it to be in a climate which had more of a guarantee of, you know, sunny days.
In the UK, I suffer really badly. I just want to hibernate. I just feel I get very low mood. I get very tired and very depressed, you know.
If she can be in a better environment, then why not? If we can do something about that, then you would, wouldn't you, for health's sake?
With such strong pulls in both directions, there could be tough times ahead.
It's all or nothing. We all go. But if she said, I'm not going, that's it, I couldn't bear the thought of going and leaving one behind.
We're sending the wards to the northernmost city in Australia, Darwin, to experience life down under. Its laid-back lifestyle appeals to Brits who want a better quality of life. Its warm climate should suit Helen, and despite being surrounded by the outback, it has a modern and cosmopolitan feel. As Australia's fastest growing city, it has plenty of job and housing options for the wards.
We found 3 possible lifestyles for our family, each one offering a brand new way of life for them to try on their budget. But which one will be the most suitable?
The city of Darwin is situated on a peninsula overlooking the harbour. Space is at a premium, so city apartments can be expensive and may not offer as much space as the wards need. Larger houses come at a huge cost. This stunning house, just 5 minutes from the city centre, offers more space, but costs nearly £1 million, well out of the ward's budget. But what a view!
So very different from their life in the UK. But what about option 2?
Durack is an outer suburb. It's a 35-minute drive to the centre, but with good schools and transport links, it could be a viable option for the wards. A 4-bedroom house with a pool and lake views will cost around £426,000. But there's plenty of space for the family, and Gary would be able to commute easily to the surrounding suburbs for work.
That all looks very inviting. But what about the third option?
Nightcliff is one of the oldest areas of Darwin, with fantastic views of the Timor Sea. If you fancied the beach lifestyle but need to be within commuting distance of town like Gary, it's only 15 minutes to Darwin city centre. Houses can be expensive, like this 4-bedroom detached home at nearly £320,000, above the ward's current budget.
3 very different options there, all of them life-changing. So where did we decide to send our family?
We've chosen the country for the wards. It will suit the lifestyle they're after. Gary can commute to the nearby suburbs for work, and they should be able to find a 4-bedroom home within their budget of £270,000. We've lined Gary up with the job.
Hi Gary, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Some housing options for the family.
It's lovely. There's room for a pool.
Yeah.
You could build a pool in there.
Yeah.
And along their journey, they'll experience a taste of Australian life.
It's just amazing. Just so beautiful.
Just the scenery is awesome, and my goodness, you don't get this in the UK.
But they'll have a tough week ahead of them as they try to make the biggest decision of their lives.
Rebecca, she's clearly not sure about what she wants to do.
I still have a lot to leave behind, and still not sure, totally sure. I'm still not made up at the moment.
The Ward family are looking for a big change, but with so many questions to answer, will Darwin live up to Gary and Helen's expectations? And will Rebecca be persuaded to join her family for a new life down under? After a 10,000-mile flight, the Wards arrive on the other side of the world, a little weary.
It's good we're here.
It's quite an adventure, really.
Absolutely exhausted.
I counted the hours from when we left our house to here, 30 hours.
It was quite surprising how long the journey was. All things considered, everything bunched together, waiting time for planes and things. It's going to be an interesting week. There's a lot of challenges ahead. We need to put some things to bed, I think, about the way we feel about Australia versus the UK.
Just really excited, you know. We're going to discover in Darwin.
This car's bigger than my house at home.
Well, a big family need a large car and a large apartment. The Wards will be staying in Anula, perfectly positioned to explore both Darwin and the surrounding country.
Well, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
There is a drawback, however. Rental properties in Darwin are rare and large houses can be hard to find. This house has only 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, so some people will have to share.
Wow. It's amazing.
It's a bit of all right. It's pretty good. Australian homes.
Wow. This is brilliant. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's huge.
Our kitchens fit in the fridge.
What do you reckon, guys? Could get used to this?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah?
I'm already used to it.
Well, the kitchen and living area are certainly large enough for the wards. But what about the lack of bedrooms?
Like,
Well, I went to this room.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
oh, please, can I have this one?
No.
Please. It's like a
This is really
Okay, right,
nice.
we're gonna we'll fight about the bedrooms later. All right. You say it's yours, I say it's mine.
So you can just sleep in the yard.
The lack of space is okay short term, but it's a real possibility they could only afford a small house on Gary's salary. With such a large family, practical considerations like this could mean a move just isn't viable.
You're gonna get you two in the end room over there, Dan in the one next door, and we'll go downstairs to the downstairs suite with ensuite toilet. I think that's fair. See you.
I don't want to sleep in the same bed as that thing. If we both go in the guest room, Becky can go in the queen size bed and I'll go on the sofa.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's go.
Well, the number of bedrooms might not be ideal, but there is one more surprise that might help Rachel get over having to share a room with her sister.
It's got a pool.
That's pretty good.
I can't wait to see it when the sun's out.
I like the warmth
Nice.
of water.
Yeah, it's refreshing but not absolutely freezing.
In just a few hours, our family really get to test the water, comparing their lives in the UK to how they could be down under.
30 hours ago, I'm sitting there being excited generally, and now I'm in Australia and it's just too much.
Do you want me to pinch you? Pinch you. It is real.
Back in the UK, the Wards live in a 4-bedroom house on the outskirts of Bradford. They bought it 8 years ago for £52,000. They also own the house next door, which they currently rent out to another family. To finance their move to Australia, they'll have to sell both houses. In their home, space is a real issue, with Dan's room barely able to fit a bed. The family are hoping to find more room in Australia, as well as the all-important pool. We found 3 suitable homes for sale in Darwin. The first is in the suburb of Malden, about 30 minutes drive from Darwin city centre. This 3-bedroom detached house is on the market for about £210,000. So, as long as they can get the right price for their property in the UK, Gary and Helen should be able to afford it.
Oh, this looks nice.
Okay. It's pretty different. It's not what you expect to find in Australia, though, is it? Because you get the concept of big homes, big rooms, and everything's bigger. Yeah. Nice, though. I mean, the things you could do if you had a place like this, innit? You'd change it round and...
things, I guess.
Yeah, fixtures and fittings. But you can't change the size. I'm slightly, you know, surprised.
It's
by how
bigger than
small.
ours, though, isn't it?
Got to say, though, it's a very British thing. They don't plaster the walls here, or in this house they don't. I would.
We're not really going to be spending every second of our life in here, so...
That's true, we'll be outside a lot, won't we?
A bit in 2 minds myself.
Yeah. Shall we have a look around the rest of the house?
Well, a mixed reaction so far, and Gary already has his reservations about the size, but things don't get any bigger in the bedrooms.
Whoa.
My goodness. You say come in, but can you get in? Yeah, wow.
How would you feel if this was your room?
I wouldn't feel great about this, really.
I think it's too small.
Disappointing. Not impressive.
It seems that size is becoming a real issue.
So, Dan, we did say, because you've always had to put up with the smallest bedroom, which room would you choose?
I'd rather live outside.
That bad?
Oh dear, Dan certainly isn't impressed with this place, but will the master bedroom help sway it for Gary and Helen?
I don't. I hate the walls. It's just a painted breeze block.
Yeah. I don't want to be unkind, but every room looks like a garage with furniture in. I think the surprising part for me is that this is within our budget, but I'd prefer to live in Bradford in my house than this house.
Oh no, things are going from bad to worse. But if they move to Australia, this may be the sort of house they'd have to settle for.
It's just ridiculous.
Yes, that's the toilet room. Or bedroom number 4. I feel like I've seen enough, to be honest.
Yeah. But we haven't seen outside.
We haven't seen outside, that's good. Good point. You're obsessed with outside. Yeah, no. Wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, but there may be potential to extend.
A gold mine.
Now this is spacious.
This is cool.
This is more like it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
This is lovely. There's room for a pool.
Yeah.
You could build a pool in there.
At last, something positive, but Gary's still not satisfied.
I'm struggling with the concepts of outdoor-indoor. That's my problem.
You've just got to remember that how much time you're going to spend indoors. You know, when it's 30 degrees year-round. You're going to be outdoors as much as possible, aren't you?
I'm not at all convinced. It'd be useful to look at other properties, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, we need to do that.
See what there is.
The size of house you can get for your money in Darwin has come as a shock to the wards, but Helen is trying to be positive.
It is pretty small inside, and I was quite surprised. I always had the impression that Australian houses were much more spacious. And it is open plan living, but it's quite cramped. But then you go outside, and there's just a really beautiful and quite spacious garden. So the outside makes up for the inside. Because I'm an outdoor person, always have been, and this is one of the reasons why we're considering the move to Oz, so that we can spend more time outside.
So they love the outside, but they certainly didn't like the cosy interior of Property 1. But extra floor space could come at a hefty price. Property 2 is in the suburb of Durack, 35 minutes from Darwin. It has a lot more space, with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and costs around £270,000. So this property would be more of a financial stretch for the wards.
Walk-in wardrobe.
Oh, there you go. Ensuite. No, that's
pretty fantastic.
Great, yeah.
This, isn't it?
It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you expect, isn't it?
This is more like what you'd want, isn't it? That's fine.
I think this is about the same size as your room at home.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, first impressions seem to be good, but with the extra bedroom, Dan might have trouble deciding which room to choose.
This is a good size too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good size.
Oh, is this your room then, Dan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just without the teddy bear.
It's just a little bit bigger, isn't it, than the last place?
I think it's the way it's done as well. The walls, it's not as breeze blocky.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, good to go, this one.
With its French doors, maybe bedroom 3 could be the one for Dan.
That's a massive feature of this room.
Yeah.
Gets you outside, opens the whole thing up.
I'm still going to wait, though, because it might be better.
Okay.
Weigh up your options at the end.
It's a good call.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely more impressed so far.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fabulous.
Oh, now you're talking. Look at this.
Yeah.
Whoa. This is great.
I like this very much.
So the inside gets a big tick, but will the outside live up to expectations?
Yeah, that's a spa, isn't it?
Oh, that'd be really good.
You're not going to get much exercise in there, though.
No.
But,
Yeah, but you
still,
can cool down
nice
still.
just to jump in and cool it, yeah.
Cool down all.
Cool down hot jacuzzi.
It appears to come with an unexpected guest.
Oh, it's still alive.
Does that come with the house?
Yeah.
I bet you can't get out, you know, that's the reality. We're laughing and pointing, but it's the
Shall I
horror.
rescue him? Don't fall in. Oh.
I don't think I could touch you, Liz, do you?
Yeah, good.
Could you?
Yeah.
It's cute.
Rachel, the bug girl. What was the pool water like? Is it cold?
Slightly, but it's very refreshing.
That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
I prefer this.
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely prefer this.
I did like the garden in the last place, but this is much nicer. The house is much nicer, and you've still got a nice outdoor space.
There's only so much grass you can stare at.
Yeah, it's true.
Before it says, fill me with a pool.
True.
This house seems to have been right up the ward street, even with the local visitors.
So, have you made a decision about the room situation?
Yes. Yes, we have.
And the decision is?
I'm probably going to have the one with the door. You just open it at night and you probably like listen to, wildlife, in the evening.
Result?
And,
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll just go with anything.
So it's down to you then.
I guess I'll go for the bigger one then.
Yeah.
The third property we found for the family is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in the suburb of Woodroof, half an hour from Darwin city centre. This property offers all the space the wards would need, but it's expensive. At around £290,000, both Helen and Gary would have to work full-time if they were to afford it.
God, whoa. Wow. Well, that's amazing.
Not sure about the darkness of the place.
No, look at paint and make it a bit brighter, but...
I mean, this is just an entertainment area, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very homely and cosy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
And the kitchen's got quite a fun layout.
Hey, look at this, it goes round.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Flows well, doesn't it?
It's really good, yeah. Yeah, it's excellent.
They liked that feature, but the bedrooms lead straight off the living area, which may be an issue for some, and Gary's still concerned about the space.
It's not huge, is it?
Well,
No, but it's not bad, really. This is okay, I guess, as a guest room, maybe.
Do you like it?
The other one I like straight away. This one, I'm hoping that it's just going to have more things to offer than what we've seen so far.
So far, this house has failed to wow Helen, but there's still a lot more to see.
Oh, this has got to be our
Well,
room.
it goes without saying,
Definitely
really.
our room, isn't it?
wow. Ooh.
There's en suite through there.
There's a huge shower head in here, Gary. You won't have to dance around in this one.
That's big. Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, this is selling it a bit more to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
Pool table. Cool.
Oh, that's class.
Learn how to play pool.
I like playing pool.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, there's such potential in this area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To just stick a...
You could have this as your dining area right off the kitchen,
Yeah,
couldn't you?
good.
And it
So
make
much
the
to
lounge
do.
a seating area more sort of spread round.
Or a belly room.
Would a horse fit in here?
If Gary's trying to persuade Rebecca to move to Australia, perhaps he should forget the games room. This feature might just help.
Oh, that pool's awesome. Oh,
That is one nice big pool.
Oh, this is cool.
God, look at that. That's outrageous.
I think this tipped the balance a little bit.
Oh, it's just... That's the business, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the dream home. I do actually want to try it now. So it's pretty cool, isn't it?
That's nice.
In terms of the house that I'd like to live in Australia, that's really a dream home.
That is the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, I think you better come here.
What is it?
It's like a fitness room.
Really?
Yeah. Come on.
Hey.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding.
That's not exactly what some would call a fitness room.
Awesome.
You can say you could just get out of bed, go for about 10 lengths or 20 or whatever, come and lift some weights, and that's it, done. Off to work.
Diet finished.
Yeah.
Diet finished. Pilot book or back on with the barbecue.
We've shown the ward's 3 properties in Darwin. The first house in Malden cost £210,000, but was far too small, and the ward struggled to find anything they liked about it. Property 2, a 4-bedroom house in Jurek, was more expensive at £270,000, but it was perfect for the wards, and Gary could obviously see himself living there. The third house in Woodroof eventually won them over, with its impressive pool and large living area. This may have been their dream home, but with a price of £290,000, it might have to remain just that.
I think property 1's, I don't think it's workable for us. I couldn't see myself spending money on a house like that. I just found it unacceptable.
I really hope that we can afford property 2. I'd be amazed if we could afford property 3. But if we could only afford property 1, I don't know. I think we'd, especially based on Gary's reaction, I don't think that's going to work for us.
So, which way will they vote?
Based on the properties we've seen today in Darwin, our vote goes to Australia.
England. Australia.
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 England?
England. Australian properties have space, they've got swimming pools. That's generally it. I just prefer...
You like our house back home?
Yeah, very much.
OK.
It's all hanging in the balance. If property one is all they can afford, the rest of the family may follow Rachel's example. Later, the Wards will discover exactly how expensive it is to live the Australian dream.
Property in Darwin is expensive, and if the Wards want more space than Property One offered, then Gary's going to have to find the right job.
Gary is up early to sample work in Darwin. Back in the UK, he's a welfare worker helping disadvantaged children. It's a job that means a great deal to him, and leaving the charity behind will be very difficult. So it's important he can find a similar setup in Australia. In the Darwin area, the YMCA carries out the kind of work that Gary does in the UK.
I think for me, the reason why I'm into welfare work and working with young people is because I want to be making a difference. I see there's problems and there needs to be fixes in society. So a job in Australia, I think what I'll be looking for is close to the same as you could possibly get.
If they make the move to Oz, both Gary and Helen will have to find work if they're to have any chance of affording the property and lifestyle they want. That means that homeschooling the children will no longer be an option, so the rest of the family are off to visit a local comprehensive school.
Hello, welcome to Darwin.
My name's Helen.
Rachel.
Daniel and Rebecca.
Yeah.
Come on in, let's have a look at the school.
Cool.
Okay.
Both Rebecca and Dan are planning to go to sixth form college, but for young Rachel, it would be a massive change adapting to an Aussie school, having been taught at home in the UK.
I'm a little bit nervous since, you know, I've never been to school since I finished reception. And I just find it really nerve-wracking, confusing. I don't know what to expect. And just generally, it's weird.
Come on in.
Gary's come to meet Raquel and some of her staff and clients at the YMCA.
Hi there. Hi Gary, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Come and have a look through the centre.
Excellent.
It's a great place to work. We have a lot of fun here and we do some great fun activities, and you know, it's really good hanging out with the kids. Hi everyone. This is Gary and this is John, our Youth Services Manager.
Nice to meet you, Gary.
And Jess.
Hi, Jess. Right.
Monica, Ramona and Rasapa.
Hello.
This is part of our holiday program. We've got a 4-week holiday program that the YMCA puts together over the school break. They're doing bead making, making little jewellery boxes.
That's great, isn't it?
Beautiful.
You're going to wear them?
This is a safe environment for people to come so that they can come here, know that they're safe, and along with programmed activities they can relax and have access to things that they necessarily wouldn't at home.
Where I come from, a lot of people do actually bring youth to be the main culprits in all society. I don't think that's true, and I'm sure you don't.
We don't.
But yeah, it's good that you've got putting things on to sort of reverse the trend and get people doing diversion activities and, you know, putting education programs in place. It's great.
I think a lot of focus on youth services in the past has been around just the youth. It's no use just working with the youth if you're not working with the families. So that holistic approach to working with young people and helping them to be good family members is just as important as, you know, working with them.
God, that's brilliant.
And this is another new one that Jessie made.
Yeah. Can I have a look? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This has come from feedback from them on some of the things that they like to do.
Pretty creative, eh? What do you think? No, it's good, that. The worst part about this is cleaning up afterwards, isn't
Yeah, exactly.
While Gary looks around, the rest of the family are checking out school life. It's the school holidays in Darwin, so the classrooms are empty. However, there's still a lot to see, and Rachel's first experience of Australian school is going well.
This is the outdoor area.
Wow,
So students gather here in the breaks.
Wow.
And have the opportunity to sit and eat their food.
It's really good. This is nothing like the schools I've seen.
Not at all.
Darwin Middle School encourage their pupils to be hands-on, and that even extends to their lunch.
So it's the children themselves that prepare the food in here?
Yes, they have a teacher who works with them, who's trained in that sort of area, but the students actually prepare all of the food. They learn about food handling, safety issues in the kitchen.
That's amazing.
Can I come to school with you?
Wow.
And they have a really big focus on healthy food, so the menu's very healthy, and they have food that teenagers like to eat.
Really good.
So it works really well. Yeah.
Really do want to come here now.
And there's even more to tempt our budding ballerina.
Performing arts area.
Wow. That's amazing.
And the students do, they do dance, they do drama, music.
So do you have the performing arts as part of the curriculum, or is it an extracurricular
No,
activity?
it's part of the curriculum.
Wow.
A very important part of the curriculum here at the school.
I think you've sold it to her.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's go.
Back at the YMCA, Gary has some pressing questions for Raquel.
So in terms of the reality of working, perhaps for the YMCA, what sort of working hours are there? How does it work for an employee?
In this industry, which is working with young people, the outside school hours is the best time. So we would definitely be looking for people who can work evenings and afternoons and some weekends, obviously flexible.
And in terms of salary, what would it attract to this kind of starting salary?
A starting salary, well, with someone with experience, would be anywhere from say $47,000 to $57,000, which is a fairly good salary in this area.
Yeah, it's useful to know.
And there's certainly, if you work in remote areas, which we also do, there's other benefits around those sorts of things.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Really does.
Well, those are very different hours to the 9 to 5 that Gary works in the UK, and it would mean missing out a lot of time with the family, but the salary is a little higher. Helen has some important questions for the head teacher if she's to send her children back to school.
One of the reasons we've home educated our children so far is that been a big concern is bullying. Obviously, I wouldn't want any of my children to be subject to any form of bullying, whatever form that might take.
We have no tolerance for bullying. We educate people about what bullying is. We have things like natural justice, so if you're bullied by someone in the school, we would like to have you and them together, and perhaps the parents, so that they understand the impact of their behaviour on someone else.
I just don't really want to be bullied. I'm just scared of not fitting in, my accent. I've been teased quite a little bit, but it's not that kind of bullying as in pushing and shoving and stuff. But it's kind of fear of the unknown at the moment.
We don't stamp out bullying completely, but we work really hard to minimise its impact.
Very good.
Yeah.
This is just, the school's just perfect.
Oh, that's great.
Everywhere.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you liked it. Good luck with that ballet.
Yeah.
See you later.
Well, the school has proved to be a hit with Rachel. However, although the school has policies to minimise bullying, recent studies show that it's as much of a problem in Australia as it is in the UK. It's been a long day for everyone, but ultimately much of the decision rests on Gary finding work to suit him, with a salary big enough to help support the family.
In terms of fitting in and working there, it's definitely a place where I'd consider working. It's not a million miles away from what I do now, and they've got the same kind of aspirations to see young people helped and moved on into something which is better and more appropriate to the future. I think one of my concerns would be the working hours. It would take me away from what we've got into a pattern, really, in family life of eating together an evening meal and doing some things in the evening. If needs must, I'd do it, but I think I prefer the 9 to 5 job.
So how will he vote on work down under?
Based on what I've seen today at work, my vote goes to UK.
The wards have been set on a move down under, but so far things haven't been easy. So what will the family make of Darwin's outback lifestyle?
The earlier disappointment that Rachel prefers homes in the UK to Oz was something of a surprise for Gary and Helen. But they know that Rebecca also has doubts about life here without her beloved horse Shadow and her new foal.
Cheese.
They're hoping a taste of the Australian outback can change her mind.
It's just amazing, just so beautiful.
Beautiful day, and it's just the scenery is awesome, and my goodness, you don't get this in the UK.
No. Even if you get places like this, it's full of people. So it's just amazing and privileged to be in a place like this, but empty.
Yeah, I could see us spending many a Sunday afternoon somewhere like this.
Rachel seems to be warming up a bit, but Rebecca's been very quiet so far. Maybe a bit of outdoor life will do the trick.
G'day, how you going? My name's Evan, welcome to Mount Bundy Trail Rides. Right, now, firstly, any of you guys ridden before? Or?
I've ridden a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple of times? That's all right, no worries. Okay, so what we're going to do first is just separate you. We'll get you on your horses and run through what we're doing and with your reins and your stirrups and how to hold your feet and that sort of thing. Okay, so everyone's ready to go? Okay.
Almost the whole family's at home on horseback, but there's one person who prefers to keep his feet firmly on the ground.
Is anyone feeling nervous at all?
A little.
A little bit?
Kind of, yeah.
All right, no worries, that's fine.
Nice horse. Where's the gear stick?
All right, everyone ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, you just follow me.
Yeah, to your left. Look at them, there's 3 of them. Family.
And there's loads more to see than just kangaroos. These massive structures are home to some pesky little critters, termites.
These ones here are actually called cathedral termite mounds. This one here is actually about 100 years old. The most amazing thing about them is that everything that is above the ground, okay, they go just as deep below the ground. So they're quite an enormous thing. Everyone ready to keep going?
No, we're not going that way, this way. This way. Oi, oi. No.
She's off to home.
Gary never did find that gear stick. But have they found a way of taking Rebecca's mind off her horses back home?
Yeah. Suit you, wouldn't it?
Makes me miss Shadow though.
Is it?
Nice to be around horses because I've missed it because I've not been riding Shadow, so it's been a nice change even for me. This is everywhere, so I'm happy. It's still quite undecided because like we haven't seen of us while I've been here a couple of days. I don't think I'd give it 100% just yet, but I enjoyed today, so it's a bit over 50 now.
Yeah, that was good. Different. Never rode a horse. So, bit of pain, bit of saddle soreness.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain.
The family seem to have had a fantastic day. However, these sort of experiences don't come cheap, and at some point the reality of the cost of living down under will have to be reckoned with. For now, it's time to vote on the Antipodean lifestyle.
Based on what we've seen, the lifestyle in Australia, our vote goes to...
Australia.
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 Yay!
Hey, that's great. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
The Wards may have enjoyed the outback lifestyle, but if they're going to afford to make the move down under, it's important they get a good price for their property back in Bradford.
The Wards think that their houses in Bradford, both their home and the house next door that they own and rent out, are jointly worth a total of £270,000. We sent round an estate agent to get an up-to-date valuation on their property.
This is weird.
Yeah. Looks really small, doesn't it?
It looks narrow.
Boy doesn't look happy, does he? It's really weird seeing our home, isn't it, when you're over here? Yeah. Just bizarre, really. Rachel's ID room. Oh, Dan did a good job.
Mm.
Looks like there's about 100 rooms, isn't it?
Certainly it's a good-sized 4-bedroom semi-detached property that has been extended to the side, adding the 4th bedroom to the ground floor. There's a very good-sized conservatory to the rear, overlooking the private rear garden. Maybe a determining factor is the fact that the 4th bedroom is located downstairs, but certainly a good-sized family home. I would consider this property to be worth somewhere in the region of £130,000 and the property next door to be somewhere in the region of £110,000, giving a grand total of £240,000.
I've been credit crunched.
Very much more than I thought.
I thought it would probably about 150 for ours.
I would have thought 150 would have been the smallest amount for ours.
Yeah.
Because it was valued at 170 at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Show how much they've dropped. The properties we've seen so far in Australia have been valued at much higher, the price of those houses, so you know, that makes quite a difference to us, really.
So, back to the drawing board, eh?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good news. It seems their property is worth a lot less than they'd hoped for. Can they still afford to make the move down under?
We've provided the wards with some details of everyday costs of living in Australia, but will the numbers add up?
Cost? Wow, OK. Large house, air conditioning run 24/7, £186. We're not going to do that.
So I've got that, 186 plus pool costs.
Oh, of course.
So we don't have that now, do we?
No.
There are quite a few hidden extras, but how will the expenses compare?
Horse stable, we would only be looking at that. Stabling and feed, so that's 225.
No. It can't be that much.
So what are our current running costs for the car? I've got it on here.
120 a month for fuel.
Getting stressed now.
We've got some buying a home information. So that's the mortgage on a house.
So that's on the first house we saw.
Really?
So 1,003. Oh my goodness. So it's well over double what we're paying now on the mortgage.
OK, well, we're still earning more, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Things are a bit more expensive than they thought. Gary's determined to make it add up. It's time to do the sums.
It costs £1,060 more per month to live.
195. So in actual fact, budget-wise,
we're going to be worse off.
Yeah, only £200. You can cut back. You can cut back on shopping. You can watch your fuel bills. You can.
Well, the biggest thing is the horse, because we've said to Rebecca that she needs to get a job and start paying towards it.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the ways we can cut back on our expenses.
After crunching the numbers, how have things worked out?
I thought it was a challenging process. I thought, looking at all the outgoings and incomings, it was quite challenging. And it destroys the myth that somehow Australia is some cheap paradise, and it isn't.
It certainly was a reality check, looking at the figures, the facts and figures on paper, and finding out that overall the cost of living in Australia is a little bit higher than the UK. But then to balance that out, I think the wages might be slightly more for what we do.
Gary and Helen are putting on a brave face, but how will they vote in the knowledge that the life they dream of in Australia might be just too expensive?
Based on the living costs we've just been working out, our vote goes to UK. UK?
Okay, yep, UK. It's obviously mathematically cheaper to live in the UK.
If the wards are going to afford to make the move to Australia, Helen's going to have to go back to work. This will mean an end to home teaching for the kids. They've been out of the school system for 5 years, and making new friends could be daunting for them.
Welcome to Darwin Surf Club. If you guys want to get in your bathers, we'll get straight down to the beach and meet the other guys.
They're going to have to adapt quickly and make friends if they want to fit in. But how will they fare when thrown in at the deep end?
Okay guys, we're going to do some board training. You guys head down and grab your boards. Rach, if you want to follow them. Daniel, we're going to use one of the rescue boards, so if you follow me, we'll go over there and grab that one.
In Darwin, at this time of year, there's a heightened risk of poisonous box jellyfish, but this part of the beach is regularly checked by the surf rescue team, so it's safe to go in the water.
I'm not taking part because I've got lenses. I've just been helping out on the land. But even as a spectator, it looks really fun.
Experiencing new sights and sounds may have taken Rebecca's mind off the UK for a while, but Mum and Dad are all too aware that her heart still yearns for life back home.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for Becky to leave Shadow and Cara. Yeah, we've always known it's going to be difficult, and we've always talked to her about the situation, and if she says, no, there's nothing for me in Australia, then that would be quite a difficult situation for us.
Got a text from my friend last night, and then that kind of brought it all back, but I think I've had too much to think about, but I do miss them quite a lot. I think if I stayed any longer than 3 weeks, that would get really hard. I've seen what Australia's done to my family in the space of a few days, and I'm quite happy about it. But everyone's so happy and chilled, and they've enjoyed every single day. They've come home and collapsed because they've been, they've done so much and enjoyed it so much. But it doesn't mean it wouldn't hurt a lot, so I guess, I don't know.
It's fun, isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't want to be dragging her here, kicking and screaming, because it would be just heartbreaking for me to see her so upset and really unhappy. I wouldn't want to do that.
I think it's a tough call, the Rebecca issue. But I think trying to persuade her that there are more important things than horses and pets. I know it's hard to say that, and it's difficult to enforce that onto a child, but it is a reality for me. There may be some tough decisions to make in the future.
If Rebecca, Rachel or Dan can't come to terms with life on the other side of the world, the possibility of a move could be dashed. But will the local surf club make them feel part of their gang?
What do you really do after school?
Shopping.
Sport training and stuff done usually after school. Well, you don't really go in the water that much in the wet season because of the stingers and that. Yeah, but you can get waves then.
How hot does it get?
About 33 degrees.
This is kind of our cold. This is our winter.
This is winter for us.
It gets 40 degrees.
It gets freezing.
To up a conversation.
What's the weather like in the UK?
Really, really, really cold all the time.
Summer. I'd like to live there.
Yeah, compared to here, it's always cold, really.
We sit outside all day when it's 20 degrees because we get nothing better.
Whoa.
If you ever go to the UK, go in summer and hope for the best.
In the winter, it can get to -5 in the day and then colder at the night.
I think I'd die.
We freeze.
Frostbite.
So enough talk about the weather.
Thank you.
Been nice meeting you. Bye.
How did Rachel, Dan and Rebecca enjoy their day with their new Aussie pals?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, loved it.
I enjoyed it too.
They're really friendly.
Yeah.
Really, they helped a lot as well. When you wanted to know how to do it,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really helpful. It's really nice.
How will they vote?
Based on the friends we've met today, our vote goes to Australia.
Leaving loved ones behind is always difficult, but have the wards given this enough thought? We've prepared some messages from friends and family back home.
Hello, Gary, Helen and the children.
Hello, gang. Nice to be able to speak to you.
They always seem to be enthusiastic about stuff, don't they? Wanting to see what the next challenge is, what's the next thing.
Caring and supportive.
Without a doubt.
Good friends.
Gary's one of those unique people who really challenges the way you think about stuff, and he doesn't go along with the run-of-the-mill kind of way of thinking and seeing the world. He's a bit of an anarchist at heart, I think.
You never quite know what he's going to do next. And he's a total surprise, and I love that about Gary.
Helen has become a really good friend. She's a good mate to sit and have a coffee with, have a chin wag.
She is not only my daughter, she's a very good friend.
She's somebody I can contact and talk about all sorts of things.
She's such a thoughtful, generous girl, and I love her to bits.
I shall miss the fun of them being here.
I will miss them. I'll miss them terribly. I mean, I know I can still phone when she's over there, but it's not in the same time zone. So it's a case where you've got to think about it. Can I phone? Is it 3 o'clock in the morning over there? So I miss that. I miss not just being able to pick up the phone and find out what they're up to.
It's not often you make good friends that you can really rely on.
I'll miss having somebody to talk to. Gary works with vulnerable people as I do. But the job is very, very stressful, so we can talk to each other. We obviously keep things confidential, but we can bounce things off each other when we've had a stressful day and we totally understand where each other's coming from. So it's good to have a good friend that you can discuss things like that with. He won't be there anymore, so I'll have to email him. I won't have the face-to-face contact. I won't have the personal contact with Gary.
I don't want them to go because that's selfish. When I say that, I don't want them to go, but in another way I do, because I know it will be a better life.
We'll miss them.
Miss them, you know.
Well, I know.
We love you. I can't. We love you and we miss you very, very much.
So God bless you.
I shall miss you dreadfully if you decide to settle. I shall miss your company. I shall miss your fun.
I still keep thinking of all the good times that we've had, thinking of the times that we've taken Jake out to the woods, which we won't be able to go and see anymore.
And I should just miss all your company. In fact, I should miss
everything about you, but you've got my love with you there. I shall
support you in whatever you decide.
But I've lost a good friend if you settle, and I love you dearly.
We're really glad that you're actually getting the chance to live your dream, but we'll always be here if you need us.
Obviously, we know that it's best for you guys, but we will really miss you.
I hope you have. I hope you decide to do it. Oh, try not to well up. Oh, goodness me. If you do decide to go, I wish you all the best. I really do.
Well, it's nice to hear what people think about you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some great comments here.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. I'm just touched by the nice things that they've said about us. But I think they all see that, you know, this is a good move for us as a family. And hopefully they'll all get on a plane and visit us. It's good that we've got each other though, isn't it?
It's never easy. Although the Wards might have a lot to gain from a move to Australia, it would come with a huge loss.
So that's it. The Wards are almost at the end of their roller coaster week down under, and it's been something of a wake-up call. Their hopes of affording their dream home were quickly dashed.
Living here in Darwin is quite expensive. It seems that my life in the UK is directly opposed to the life here in the Northern Territory. House prices are going up here, the economy's booming, where in the UK we're just bottoming out in a big recession. So, that's a big deal. You know, you've got to think that stuff through and whether you could actually realistically manage.
But the kids love the outdoor lifestyle and found it easy to make friends here.
They're really friendly.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, loved it. I enjoyed it too.
And Rachel fell head over heels with the possibility of going back to school.
This is just, the school's just perfect.
That's great.
Everywhere.
There was work for Gary, but could he leave the job he loves in the UK?
When I went to the Lighthouse Group, I found it was an environment and a job which kind of suits me. It's almost like there was a Gary-shaped hole there, and I haven't found that really here.
Messages from friends and family were tough to hear.
If you do decide to go, I wish you all the best. I really do.
It's going to be really difficult. I'd really miss Sarah. I miss the laughs that we've had. And also I'd really miss my mum.
And all the time, Rebecca was heartbroken at the thought of never seeing her beloved horses again.
I'm not really sure at the moment because, you know, although riding here is good and there is horses and stuff, I still have a lot to leave behind and still not sure, totally sure. I think it's still a very hard decision and I really am still not made up at the moment.
Rebecca, she's clearly not sure about what she wants to do. I've said before that if one wants to stay, then we all stay, so that's a big deal. I think she needs to make her own choice.
With the all-or-nothing approach, things really could go either way. So, after sampling their dream for 1 week, how will they vote?
Based on our week here in Darwin, our final vote goes to
Australia.
Was that unanimous? Yay, we're going! Yay!
Good stuff, Australia.
Cool.
Wow.
I'm glad you're all up for it.
All united.
We are one.
Well done, Bex. So it's been a good week for you then,
Yeah.
horse-wise.
Nice one.
It seems Becky has finally been won over to the benefits a new life down under would bring. And the Wards will be moving as a family to Australia.
Join us again next time to find out what happens when another British family has to decide whether they're wanted down under.
Back home, more abandoned buildings get a new lease of life in Britain's empty homes next after the news. Then, and Aladdin's cave of antiques and collectibles on today's Cash in the Attic here on BBC One at 11:30.